what you should do to make sure that you could create the space in the life for creativity and rest and, just feeling healthy and feeling like you could focus on things that are important to you.
Yeah, I think the takeaway would be like having the courage to try something different.
Yes.
Because that's the only way you're going to get a different result.
That's absolutely right.
Positive or negative. But then you have to adjust to see where, okay, well, maybe I can't spend 2 hours playing tennis.
Right.
It's just 1 hour.
That's right.
Or maybe I can, but on Fridays.
Right. Welcome to the Hustle Adjacent podcast. I'm Arianne.
And I'm Kelly.
And we want to talk about what if ambition doesn't require burnout?
And wanting more didn't have to feel so urgent.
Yeah, like what if it could be,
relaxed.
Yeah, semi-pleasant. Today we're joined by a good friend of ours. Erika Ward is an award-winning interior designer, entrepreneur, wife, and mom of 5.
Yep. That's pretty ambitious right there.
Yeah, right there.
She doesn't lack in ambition.
That's right. She is not only a friend of ours, but she's also in one of our professional development groups, and we talk often about kind of like this journey of entrepreneurship, this journey of owning a design firm. So we thought she would be the perfect person to have on this episode, because what we both admire about Erika is she's very, very, very firm on her priorities. Everyone who knows Erika knows that her family comes first. They know that she is, I feel like living this life that we aspire to be a little bit slower, but somehow getting it all done and showing up in the ways that are most important to her. And so, as we talk about this, really creating a life that you don't need a vacation from. That's where we kind of feel like.
I do still like vacations.
Yeah, you said you get vacations.
Oh, okay.
You just ain't
but not only thinking about
exactly.
to get away.
And I think realistically, she's also like the first person that I know of who has been living hustle adjacent, without knowing it.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Like I just feel like you embody that in a good way, and so it's going to be fun to talk about it.
Yeah. So share a little bit about your journey, and do you feel like you identify as someone who's hustle adjacent? Because maybe we
absolutely
okay.
No, I totally own that.
Yeah,
and it wasn't always that way. I think at one point, if I think about hustle, it is survival, right? You're learning how to survive. And then once you realize, okay, I know how I can survive, then you can actually pull back a little bit because you know what it takes.
That's right.
For survival.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't take as much as what we thought it did.
Right.
But because it was uncharted territory and things we didn't know what we didn't know. Right? So we did it all.
Yes.
And all at the same
all
time.
The time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that, understanding how much pressure needs to be put on the gas to go uphill. Then you kind of get to the level where you are now on at least level ground and you just need to maintain that speed, I think is one level. But then you're like now able to coast a little bit from the momentum that you gain, I think is what you're describing.
But sometimes you're forced to hit the brake, right? Or take your foot off the gas a little bit. And I think that comes from personal exhaustion or family dynamics.
Yes.
Right. Because life be lifing.
Yeah, life be lifing. Life be lifing.
And so then that would make you have to adjust or even pivot.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
I think it's before we get into like the details of how you're doing it, especially, we should talk about this, like the culture that really creates. So we live in a capitalist society.
Sure.
We need to make money. We like money. It's all good. But there is just this culture of grind and hustle, right? And overwork in a way. And even when you get to that plateau you were just talking about, you still want more.
Yeah.
Still want, whatever. And it's just this mentality that if you don't want more, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Or if you define more in a different way, it's very hard to do that. And so as we talk about this, we have to like really acknowledge at what point did we decide that wasn't what we wanted, or this idea of this constant productivity was required to show, constantly being busy was the thing that showed that you were important or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that we all had, either you didn't subscribe to that, which I can't imagine any of us were that way, but and at what point did you decide that it wasn't necessary? And because you come from corporate America too.
Yeah.
So I think it's really fascinating to see where that shift happens and when you make the decision.
Right. Well, it's a lot of to unpack. But I think it came from several different, we're all about the same age, or we are the same age. And I think we all grew up in different areas, right? But we still have that kind of same thread in us. So I think maybe there was something that I haven't identified yet culturally that we were all exposed.
Yes.
That gave us that drive, because I have friends that I went to school with that are the same way, right? And we can recognize that thing in us that's different than some other generations, right? Whether they were before us or they came after us.
Right.
The other thing, too, speaking about my corporate background and what made me pivot was my family dynamic.
Yes.
My desire, getting clear on what I wanted, was always to grow my family.
Yeah.
And the other thing was more secondary.
Okay.
So everybody's priorities are different. Then I think about how much exposure we have now to each other's aspirations and dreams, right? Versus before, it was just whoever was in your immediate circle or somebody that I may have introduced you to, or vice versa. Now we are observers of other people's lifestyles. And so with that said, it's kind of like, and if I can speak from a design perspective, how someone can say, I like this, and it's something like farmhouse. No offense to anybody that likes farmhouse, but
offense.
However, people, it's like, you don't really like farmhouse. You just like the fact that this is a complete project.
That's exactly
done, right? And so when somebody's looking at somebody else's life and they decide, I want to aspire to that, well, it looks like
that's right.
It's a complete life, but you're only getting a highlight.
Right. That's exactly right.
And you don't know what they're sacrificing. Like with farmhouse, you're sacrificing taste to get this complete.
Or the fact that you're in the middle of the city in a brick front.
A brick front.
That's right.
A red brick front.
That's right.
Only brick in the front.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get in the back. Right. Okay. But no, I think I totally agree with you. I think similar to what you're saying, like when I think about my aspirations, I think my first aspirations were all just to get out of the ghetto of Chicago.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Right. So I did things. I became a lawyer. Like I did all those things. And then once you get to a level of comfort in a way, then you can make different decisions, right? And I didn't want to be, it's funny to say it this way now, but I didn't want to work for my hours. Like I didn't want to be billing, every 6 minutes for the rest of my, so when I made the transition, that had a lot to do with it. I will tell you, as a designer, the thing that helps me to identify when I needed to, like, when I didn't want what other people wanted.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking to a friend and she wants to do these things, I'm like, that sounds horrible. Or I don't find that enjoyable, right? And so because we now get to see people's aspirations and we do get to see it, I actually think it's a lot easier to be like, oh, that's what it takes to get on this list, or that's what it takes to this. I'm not willing to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's because you know yourself better.
Yeah. I'm so older.
Right.
Yeah.
And the experiences that you've had, like you had the experience of billing in that way that you made reference to. But, and sometimes unless you've had that experience, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But from a creative standpoint, I also learned that I'm not a machine.
Right.
Right. None of us are machines. And I had to learn, I define energy in a different way.
Okay.
Right. So you have to, energy is a resource. You can agree with that. And just like time is a resource, your energy is a resource. And you can schedule your energy for whatever you feel priority, right?
Right.
But then also I think about rest as a resource.
That's exactly right.
And rest actually fuels resilience.
Yes. Yeah, you
right?
did. Yes.
So, and you can't be creative unless you had rest. Because I know that I personally have burned the midnight oil.
That's exactly right.
Trying to design something and then out of extreme exhaustion, damn near throw it out the window.
Right.
Then come back and lay it back out okay, wait a minute, this is what it should be.
Yeah, because when you're rested.
Yeah, you have clarity.
You have clarity.
Because you're trying to do all that stuff late at night. You ain't as fresh as you need to be.
Absolutely not.
As soon as you stop and go take a nap.
Yep.
Or you come back, it takes like 5 minutes.
That's right. Take a shower.
You take a shower.
Like just standing in the shower.
Walk around the way.
Pressure to earn rest, right? Like there's this idea that
you have to earn it.
You shouldn't just be resting because, right? Or whatever. And so I wonder, I will say this, the newer generations don't seem to think that.
No. And I'm happy for that.
Yeah, me too.
Listen,
because that's not sustainable,
right?
At all.
I always say it like this: I love the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to hire them.
Yeah, because then they don't have because
then they got the works, and then
right now that's the other that's the trade-off.
Yeah,
as my best friend says, we come from a very toxic work environment. True. So our thing, like when people are like, "Oh, I worked over 40 hours." Okay, you work 42 hours. Like, calm down.
Yeah,
my husband slept under my desk at the law firm before. Like, calm down. Right. That ain't healthy either. So I think that there is something there. I just love that they have these boundaries. They have these things, and honestly, they're not working for money. That's the difference, right? Like we were working for money. We were willing to do those things because we were enticed by certain things. So I don't know. It's just interesting the difference, because
shift for sure.
I don't know if I think I had to earn rest, but I did earn vacations. I did
Yes.
I wasn't walking in talking about I deserve a vacation as I'm starting a job.
Right.
Or at least to think about it. So I think it's a big change.
Yeah. No,
which I think is great. It's not fun.
Definitely agree. It's a cultural shift in that
stuff done.
I just need you to get it done.
There was a time where, being on the grind was a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Like to brag about how hard you were. Remember how there was a point of time where it was like sexy to be like, you sleep when you die. Like you work hard and like you're on the grind. Like that was
they'll say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Or
yeah.
Like that.
It's like, that was the cultural definition of success that's now changing. And there absolutely was this, need to, or this connection between earning your rest. I remember even for myself, working for myself, there were times that I would be like, I would want nothing more on a Sunday afternoon to be sitting on my couch, vegging out, watching TV, reading a book, but I feel compelled to be sitting here at my computer doing work because there's work that needs to be done, and I didn't earn the right to sit there and rest, right? That's how, even for myself, I was processing it. So I'm happy to see a shift in culture because we do know it's not sustainable. One of the things we talked about on our call, our little development call, was sustainability and the health implications of always being under that much stress and not getting enough rest. And so I'm happy that we're having this conversation because I think that you are an example of someone who it's not like I observe you and you're just like on principle, I'm resting, right? I'm on principle, I ain't doing it. Yeah. You're like, no, what has happened is I've gotten very clear on what I prioritize.
Yes.
And I will make the time and space for that. The first time you invited me to your house, I was like, I move. It's like a retreat. Like her home, I was like, she lives in a beautiful neighborhood, but out her backyard is just land. And like bunnies hopping and
literally,
no, it's true.
Like deer.
And like, it's just like the most, it feels like a retreat. And I know that about her. That is actually hers. Like she is sanctuary, retreat, all those things. And so as her friend, to see her create this haven for herself and her family and be absolutely clear about like, this is my space. This is what I protect. I will work from here so I can be here for the kids. I admire that so much. And I think that's what makes it so easy on the outside looking in, easy for you to say, I'm not doing anything that would ever threaten that sanctuary that I've created, right?
Yeah. But that came from being burned out.
Yeah.
Right? And it came from having migraine headaches every day.
Wow.
And it came from going to the doctor trying to figure out what's wrong with me when you're just riddled with anxiety. Yeah. That's really what it is. And so it's like, if I'm going to be present, right, for the family, present for myself, then you have to actually take care of you. If I want to be present for my clients,
right.
If I've got a headache and I can't make it to a meeting or presentation because I'm just so stressed out.
That's what I always think about when we're talking about pulling these all-nighters or these late nights.
There's a place, I'm
ruined, right?
Yeah.
I also have this belief that every hour I don't sleep on one day, I got to make it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. It's just in my nature. I've probably done I've actually probably only done 2 or 3 all-nighters in my life. It's never been my thing.
Okay.
But even when I'm like, oh, it's 1:00, but I really need to finish this, I'll be like, oh, tomorrow,
I'm
going to bed at 9.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like it's just a very, it kills me when I have a week where I just know I have a lot of deadlines and I have to stay up and I can't do anything all weekend. Like it just changes who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not presenting in the same way.
Yeah.
And so why would I want to do that and then go do a presentation for a client or whatever?
Right.
So we need the rest. We need to set up. I will say I have never been a person that felt like I needed to earn the rest per se. But once I did earn it, you can't say nothing. Like even I remember at the law firm, it was like, oh, well, if you do this many hours, you get a bonus. And I'm like, my bonus is going home every day.
Like,
you pay me enough in the regular salary. I don't need that bonus. I don't want this extra work.
That's right.
Or you give me my vacation hours rollover. I'm taking 30 days off for my 30th birthday.
Yeah.
You ain't want me to take it, you shouldn't give me it.
Right. So exactly. It's mine. The way that.
But I also had the mindset that I got to get my work done. And I'm going to do what I need to.
That's the difference right there.
I'm going to do what I need to get it done. But I'm still going to enjoy the other parts of it. And I think you're right. That's the difference. It's like, I don't have a problem with you. Like, I have this thing in my firm. Like, yes, we keep hours so we know where we're using. But I don't care if you work at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. I need you to get your work done.
But what was eye-opening for me was actually blocking my time and seeing how much time I actually had to do whatever it was I needed to do. Then it also was very telling about what was draining me.
Right.
And where I was losing valuable time.
Yes.
And then for me, I'm a morning person.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have anything to say to you after 9 o'clock. Right. I know.
I don't think you really won't. I think after 12, you might as well just suck it up. Like, you don't want to hear from me.
12
p.m.
Oh, really?
I feel like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. got all my best hours.
Got it. Okay.
12 p.m. we should just be going to have lunch. Everything after that is kind of like...
We could do. I love that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I also am an extrovert, as you all know.
Yeah.
And so I get energy from people. So the way I run my calendar is from... I'm like a vampire. I get energy. But so I run my calendar where I have no meetings in the morning. And then by like 1 or 2, I need the energy from somebody else.
But see, that's knowing yourself.
Exactly right.
But it took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
But now I have all my conversations.
And not feeling bad about how you're made, leaning into it as your superpower.
Make it work for you.
Making it work for you. That's growth, right? I read somewhere, I can't remember where, or maybe I heard on a podcast, someone explain time in a way that made so much sense to me. And basically what they said was, you should budget your time the way you budget money. And that's what you're talking about, right?
My grandfather taught me that.
When you look at your day, that changed the game. That changed the game for me, time blocking, because it does expose how much time you actually have. If you're being productive,
more valuable than money.
It's more valuable than money. And it gives you that understanding that you actually control what you're doing and what you're putting your focus on. So I love that. And I also think that this whole conversation we're having with tools like budgeting your time and being clear on who you are and your superpower, it allows you to design a life that builds in rest.
Yes.
That's what, from season 1, when I said, I don't set an alarm clock. Like, it wasn't just to be like controversial. It's that I choose to work when I work.
Yeah.
So that I don't feel pressed to wake up the next morning at a certain time, to be somewhere at a certain time just to say I did it.
Yeah.
Like, I reserve the right to sleep and then to wake up and to have breakfast and to take care of my, like, all of those things where before I neglected and sacrificed those things, thinking that was what I should have done. And that's not sustainable.
Yeah, I think it's also helps you design that life, right? So for me, once I figured out that I get more stuff done, I changed when I woke up, right? Like, and it wasn't hard because I wasn't like a late sleeper anyway, but I wake up earlier now or whatever. Or like, I sometimes have to take calls after 4 because California people or whatever. Sure. But generally when I at 5 o'clock or whatever, I'm done. Like, I used to be like, oh, maybe I'll jump back on it. I'm done. Right. But it's nice because that means I can sit on the sofa, watch something with Zoe, have a glass of wine, and just be like, you know what, I said I was done.
You're fueling your resilience.
That's right.
Yeah, but but I'm also waking up earlier to allow that.
That's right.
So, so it was a mind shift to say, okay, I need a couple more hours of those good hours because I'm not getting any in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
But leaning into your natural bend and not trying to fit into somebody else's mold. Well, you have a lot more flexibility when you're an entrepreneur to do that.
True.
That's the
Can't
blessing.
really do that. If you got a 9 to 5.
Right.
Right.
I mean, but listen, for that privilege, we pay for it in the accountability and the, the mental weight that we bear on making sure that we keep the lights on and that, we run a successful business. So I feel like what we're learning is to tap into that benefit. It's kind of like if you were offered a job with health benefits and you just never, ever, ever took advantage of that. Or you were given vacation time and you never took off. You're just leaving that on the table. As entrepreneurs who stress a lot, have lots of failures, lots of things that keep us up, lots of things that cost us money to correct, it would be foolish to not take advantage of our flexibility and our ability to manipulate time, to focus on what we want. That's what I think
like you can go to a Christmas pageant or whatever at 11 o'clock.
Right.
And you might still got to do work at 3.
That's right.
Yeah,
but I
get that flexibility.
Go. Right. I still say now, I mean, the last few years as the Uber driver for my kids, I'm like, how would I do this if I had to go work? Like, I have so much respect for people who don't yet have a chance to work for themselves because it's crazy, like, how much time you spend in your car driving people.
Yeah.
Never ever gonna complain about my 2 when you got 5 people's calendars you're managing. But like to be there for drop off and be there for pickup and the after school activities and the midday meetings and that is unreal.
Or the fact that my kids in middle school, but after they finish their exams at 10:15, they can go home.
Right. Thank you.
Sorry.
That pisses me off.
Listen, I would like to talk to the administrator who thought that was, no.
Zoe got out of school one day at 9:45.
Yeah. No.
She been here for 45 minutes, like maybe 65.
Are you loading them on the bus to drop them off?
That could have been an email.
No.
That is ridiculous.
Sounds like a virtual day to me. How about that?
Right. That's exactly right.
Just give them something to read.
Right. Sounds good. Watch a movie.
Why would they
have movies? They had the TV on.
Bring the TV in the wheel. Throw a VCR tape.
Tell your age.
Throw a VCR tape in there and let it go.
Oh, you really?
I mean, I ain't gonna talk about the projector and the little put on the screen.
Yes.
And like the school parties where you get to bring snacks. Like, do something.
Right now, Zoe gets every other Friday half day.
Really?
She has 5 weeks off in the whole school year.
She's a corporate job and with benefits.
Right.
That is
right.
And this private school, so you're paying for this privilege of having to do more with your child.
Same thing with
And so when I want to take her out, they're like, oh, well, that means she's going to have a missed day on her record. So fucking what?
It's actually less work for me to keep her home.
That's the main reason I pay. Right. So I can take her out when I want to.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious, but I think, you continue for us to just, there's something you said on a call that changed my life. I will never forget it. You did. Like, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But on our business call.
And I know I say a lot of things.
She's always, let me tell you something about Erika.
Oh, God.
Erika is this Zen, like, walking wisdom. Like, if you ever just need someone to make you feel like, oh, I remember there's love in the world and there's goodness. And, she's going to talk to you like, now, come on now, friend. Did we say now? And like gonna tell you what you need to hear, but also be very loving. Like, that is Erika. And like to watch her, really reach some heights in her business, really accomplish a lot of amazing things, knowing she's also like holding down the home front, holding down the family. Like, I've been able to see her with her kids. Like, they're so beautiful, so loving. And one moment where I was actually feeling this, but could not figure out how to articulate it because I hadn't yet figured out I needed to be hustle adjacent. I was still thinking, I still got to aspire for all these big things with my firm. I was like so resentful of how hard I was working and how hard it took, how much effort it took to fund a team. And then to have given up a lot of the creative so that my team could have the space to do the work and then be like, oh, they don't even understand the gift of what I'm trying to do for them. I actually am the bridge between what it felt like to work in corporate America.
With this. Yeah, go ahead.
It felt like to work in corporate America where you were undervalued and underappreciated and you were disrespected and kind of abused. I understand what they were trying to do with that and why it didn't work. I understand what it takes to be successful and how hard I know I'm working to keep the lights on. I want this team to come in and not feel the pressure I did, but you got to also have your own internal motivation to get the stuff right the first time. And there was at one point where we were on a Zoom call and Erika's walking around her house and she had on a tennis outfit and she was like looking like glowing and we were like, oh my gosh, Erika. And she's like, oh, I went to my tennis lesson before school and whatever. And we were just like amazed. And she goes, yeah, just in the season of life where I realized, smaller business, smaller team. Cause I realized I was working for other people. And by that, I mean, I was working so hard to pay other people to do the work
I worked for them.
Right. She's like, I was no longer a business owner. I was like actually their employee. And when she said that, I remember like I caught my breath. I was like, Erika, like that is the most profound thing. Because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm working for other people. I am the boss, yes. But to make sure they have what they need, to make sure that I am aware that every person who works for me represents a family that needs to have a living wage. I take that very seriously. That is a lot of pressure, a lot of work. I'm making sure you get paid regularly, on time. You got breaks, vacation, whatever you need.
Absolutely.
And to
you
feel
also
like
giving up your pay when you have to, right?
Oh, like, yeah. And nobody knows that. Nobody knows that there are months that you don't pay yourself,
right?
To make sure they never miss anything,
right?
And to, like, there's a lot of emotion. Like I'm choked up thinking about how I felt sometimes in that moment where they don't understand, they don't get it, they never can. It's not their responsibility, but man, the pressure of that.
That's why corporate America is the way it is.
You're right.
Like these, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
You got to be strict.
That's exactly right. Strict program.
Yeah.
But like she was fully aware and she just made a choice. And I was like, I will follow her anyway. Like,
yeah.
What was she doing? Well, how did she do that? Like that was, I promise you, a lot of like these conversations about being hustle adjacent, that conversation with you was part of that impetus. It was like,
but I still had to like test out my own theory.
Yeah.
To see how that felt. And it was uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
For a bit because I'm like, it's the middle of the day and I've chosen to do this.
Yes.
When usually.
I love people who just be in the middle of the day doing nothing.
That's the dream. Tennis. That's right. But you ain't got nothing.
I mean, it's like, I'm talking about, especially being in the Bay Area, the number of people out in the streets at 1 o'clock, like, ain't nobody working.
Yeah.
You can't even get a lunch reservation.
But so I'm going to tell you a few things, and it's just kind of backtrack a little bit about the time and money thing.
Yeah.
So my grandfather says, he's deceased now, but whatever you had more of is how you made your decision.
Yeah.
If you have more money, then you can hire somebody to do.
That's right.
But if you have more time, then you're going to have to do it yourself.
That's right. That's
right. And so then the other thing that I learned was that when you talked about my demeanor and being calm or whatnot, we can freak out by ourselves. I don't need help freaking out. You don't need my help to freak out. But you do sometimes need help looking at the other perspective and getting pulled out of the... So I'll let you sit down if you want to, but if you want to come out of there, then I will
help you out.
Pull you out of there. Yeah.
Yes.
But the other thing too was I can't remember where I heard it. Maybe in like a sermon or something. But it talked about being a thermostat and not a thermometer.
Oh.
So as a thermostat, you set the tone for whatever's going on. You set the temperature. But if you are a thermometer,
you're checking the temperature.
Well, no,
or you're responding to it.
You're responding.
I'm a thermometer.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, no, I'm a thermometer. Like you come to me with some, I got you. We
matching energy.
I'm matching all the.
But I'm thinking about in our work environment.
Yes.
Whether it's doing what we do or what, but there's always something.
Yes.
But if you're okay, I acknowledge that's what it is. And that is a big job. That is some BS. But I'm already locked into what we need, what it takes to fix it.
Yeah.
Because everything is fixable.
Yeah.
For the most part. My job is fixable.
Yeah.
You know.
Everything is
You're a heart surgeon, I don't know.
Right.
That might not be fixable.
Like, we're not curing cancer here, right?
We're not.
We don't have people's life in hand. I was just saying on the wall in my office, it says there's no such thing as a design emergency. Calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
We gonna fix it.
Yeah.
But just because I'm calm doesn't mean I'm not working towards a solution.
Or just because I'm not telling you everything that I'm not working for.
Because when I hop in the car, I'll be like, girl, you will not believe what happened today.
We do need that.
That's funny. I feel like I'm a thermometer.
It can be. Depends.
No, I'm a thermometer with friends.
Okay.
But at work, I actually tell clients when they come with me with all this nonsense about something being wrong or I like everything is fixable.
Yeah.
I will tell you this as my word. I am going to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we're going to figure it out. I'll figure out how much I'm going to charge you.
Right.
I'm going to charge you. But
Absolutely.
calm down. Like we ain't none of this not fixable.
Yeah. But see, you are the thermostat.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You're bringing them to your...
That's what I'm saying. At work.
Yes.
I'm doing that because I need people to calm down. Like I actually do.
Yes.
I don't need my friends to calm down. I'd rather hype.
I know, girl.
Right.
Yes.
Let's go get that.
Let's ride. Get in the car. Let's go.
You're gonna call me about no boy trouble.
Oh,
because I'm gonna
boy.
be there. I'm gonna be.
You can call me.
I'm gonna say everything you want. But I'm gonna be the thermostat with you.
Yes. You need both.
If it's somebody I know and like, I might turn it down.
Yeah.
But very rarely.
Yeah. I know. It depends on you know me.
Yeah.
I could be especially if I feel like you're being disrespected, I will. Yeah.
So funny enough, Erika went to school with Dale.
I did.
My husband.
We went to high school together.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
And so because we went to college, like a lot of my friends also know him separately, right? And so it's so funny because when we used to have arguments, or something like college people, whatever, they would be like, "Oh, but Dale, he's so sweet." And then but now the people that know him only because of me, they match my energy.
Right.
So I have to.
So you know who to call,
right? You do.
I had to tell actually one of my closest. I was like, "Listen, when I call you about this, you're my
friend, not his friends."
I'm not saying you don't need to talk me down at some point, but you don't start the conversation with that.
Right.
You let me be where I am. Exactly. So it's really funny to like see that because it is like it's one of those things because you know the person. Like,
yes, that is so funny. That is so funny. Well, I think that there's so much. Again, we say all the time you bring so much wisdom, and like it's the perspective. It's the awareness that it wasn't always that way.
No. Not at all.
It took time to get that way.
Yes.
You're committed. You feel good now, but it wasn't always that you knew how to do it.
Right.
You know?
No.
And what you should do to make sure that you could create the space in the life for creativity and rest and, just feeling healthy and feeling like you could focus on things that are important to you.
Yeah, I think the takeaway would be like having the courage to try something different.
Yes.
Because that's the only way you're going to get a different result.
That's absolutely right.
Positive or negative. But then you have to adjust.
Yeah.
To see where, okay, well, maybe I can't spend 2 hours playing tennis.
Right.
Maybe it's just 1 hour.
Right.
Or maybe I can, but on Fridays.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But it's just, and that's just an example, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just adjusting in that way. And then to what you said about leaning into what your natural proclivities are for wakefulness, for being most productive, and that really helps because if you think about hustle in general and what it means, to me it's not sustainable. Now I think hustle has its place, right, but it's not something that is for a long period of time. There's no longevity in it.
You have to find your balance.
Yeah.
Anyway, like even if you want a little bit, it's going to find you.
But it's a season.
Yeah.
It's not what you do every day.
That's a great segue into how do we define
the season,
like ambition without chaos or hustle without overkill? Like, I think that's something talking about how can we have ambition without all the noise.
Yeah.
I think that's a great one.
Yes. I got something for that.
Okay.
So I still like to consider it ambition, but I call it quiet ambition.
Okay.
Because now what I'm doing is not as so performative that I felt like I had to do it like for optics.
Yeah.
Now it's there's a purpose. The motives are different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to your point is like once you understood what it takes to get to wherever it was you thought you wanted to be, you got there and was like, well, it's not so hot up here.
Right.
Hello. I want to go back to where I was. Yeah. I didn't want to go anyway. I mean, just be honest.
Yes. That part. That's that part for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, girl. You know that's my favorite word.
That's a happy place.
Okay. But, just thinking about what your motives are. And now you're still performing, but it's with a completely different, it has a different meaning behind it. And you understand it's not for everybody. So you're not casting this wide net, but you're trusting and you're being more clarity, right? And so when you have more clarity of mind and your intentions are more clear, when you cast your net, the people who you want to grab are going to be like, oh, she was talking to me.
That's
and
exactly
I've had people say that to me when they read my website.
That's right.
I felt like you were just talking to me. Well, that mean it worked.
Right.
That's right.
Perfect. Yeah.
Or if I put something out on social and there's a conversation happening, like that is exactly what I felt like.
Versus the generic stuff you would put out just to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think the ones that need to catch it, I have every sense of.
Yeah, I like the quiet ambition. We talked about before kind of moving in silence, like everything that needs to be out there. So it's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
you're good at that.
I'm good at that. I truly, people don't realize how good I am at it, but it's also because, we have these conversations and we've had them for years that I understand messaging. I understand that whatever you choose to put out, it should be repelling or attracting at the same time, because what you're seeking is alignment. And so, for example, the way that you show up might feel random to people who don't understand or aren't aligned with what you do. You know, you show up and you share openly your family and your faith and your, love of the beach and travel and all these things, right? And what you're hoping will happen is people who love those same things will be aligned to you. That is how you can design a life where you have rest. If your clients understand that your family time is your priority, when you sit for that first meeting with them and you say, now listen, this is how we work. I don't do texts on the weekends. I don't do blah, 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 blah.
When I show up, they already know.
They know.
Right. You put it out there.
You put it out there.
Yeah, they already know.
That's the important part of how, when we talk about the practical application of this, how do you get there? It's that, yes, you have to have the time to learn, what makes you special, your superpower, how to lean in. But then there's an art of moving in silence, right? In the pivot, but there's also like when you do share, making sure it's aligning you with people who will understand you and want and appreciate that about you. What I know probably doesn't happen often unless they have never seen you online or gone to your website is you probably don't get a lot of people who say, I am type A, I want a meeting on Monday morning at 8, If you don't show up, I'm going to not understand. Or if you have to take off for your kids, I don't understand. Like you probably have very few people who expect you to work in that way because the way you show up is so like, no, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to love this experience, but I'm going to build in the space for the things that I prioritize. And I hope you're doing the same.
But, what I do get from them is they're like, I don't know how you do this. And that's because I never said, well, not never, but, it's very rare that I'm saying I can't do something because my children.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Right. So that goes back to me looking at my time and plugging it in. So I may say, well, I can't do it that day, but I can do it on this day.
Yep.
Why I can't do it?
It's none of your business.
That's right.
None of your business.
That's the art of moving in silence.
It's only your business when I'm trying to get out of something. Right. And I was supposed to do it. Because then I'm like, man, you know what?
Right.
I agree with that. It's interesting because that's actually one of my struggles with social media in that I feel like I present very differently in person than I do on social media. And I think it's just a mindset thing. But one of the things we implemented, and it was a suggestion of an employee, was when we interview people now, there are caveats that we put at the end of the interview. It's like, listen, Kelly is this. Kelly used to be a litigator. Her emails are short and curt.
Yes.
Do not take it personal because she's going to come in the office and be like, let's go have lunch.
Yeah.
Literally is not personal. Just because she don't like something you chose don't mean she think you stupid.
Right.
Because, people really ugly sofa, go pick another one. They're like, oh, well,
it's not personal.
It's not personal.
Right. And so we have to say that. It was like, if you don't like cursing, you shouldn't be in this office.
Probably not.
If you get it, like, it literally, it's like we had a whole list they made me used to say during my interviews because they were like, people come in this office and they like love the things we do or whatever, but then they get so intimidated by whatever it is that it's not a big deal once you've been here long enough. And so we have to
understand the culture.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's really fun. Or I found that it made things so much better. Like,
yeah, that's great.
Because we will open up a bottle of champagne in that office and I don't want people to feel uncomfortable or don't like whatever. So it really changed our environment, to be honest. And so that's kind of what you're saying. And I think the one thing I don't do enough of is that in terms of clients. Like clients get a little bit of it, but they don't get as much. And I'm obviously on my best behavior with clients in a way.
It's different.
But I would love it if people who come to me are going to, like, they're going to know, I'm not going shopping with you.
Right.
Right. That's not the firm that we are. Right.
But you don't give that off though.
Yeah. I don't? Then I would go shopping. Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
People ask, I'm like,
do you know me? You don't know me, do you?
You know me?
Yes.
I know. That's interesting too, though, because I now am thinking about from the perspective of even the people you hire. One thing that I know has been things that I have either been given direct feedback on or that came back around in, at the whispers was there are often people who have worked with me who were shocked at how about business I am because I give off such a lighthearted, personable, like, hey, I'm like having fun and I'll go with the flow. And that is me in a lot of ways, but I get my work done. Yeah. And so when we're in the office, I think they're intimidated and shocked by how I'm like, no,
get your work done.
Yeah. Right. No, right. we gonna play too.
Right.
We don't play all day. We work and then we balance, right? And so I think that is just something that is very interesting that you have figured out. Like, yes, we need to make sure that person knows the totality of who I am and my personality so that they don't take it, or they know themselves. That will hurt my feelings. Okay, this is not the firm for me.
Right.
But they can, now they have more information, more data on what, whether this is a good fit and whether they should explore the opportunity to work with you. I love that.
Yeah, the problem is that most people don't know themselves, right? You have people who...
that keeps coming up in the back of my mind.
You tell them this, right? And then they get in the office and they want to cry. First of all, we don't cry in this office.
There's no crying in baseball.
We just not crying. Like, because ain't nothing happening. Nobody's doing anything to you. Like, there's nothing happening. If anybody gonna cry in this office, it's gonna be me because you just ordered $5,000 worth of the wrong slab.
Right. And did. And I've cried.
And I've cried. Right. So I think...
And I'm asking my friends, do you...
Truly.
And it's in California and I'm in Atlanta. No, ma'am, I don't.
This is a story.
True story.
But yeah, I think that is... People don't know themselves, or they want to be different, right? They think the office is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Then they get there and they're like, oh, this is actually somewhat intense.
Yes.
And even they work hard and they play hard, and both, I can't do both at the same time. Like, so sometimes you do all that work and you still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So, it's helpful to a certain extent, but sometimes you still...
I think the part about people maybe not knowing themselves comes from exposure. So much.
Right.
Yeah.
But think about if you've ever taken a social media break, which we all have.
Yes, we have.
It was so delightful.
Absolutely delightful.
Like, why did I have to
I feel like I'm on
so
one.
hard to come back.
I feel like I'm on one now. And people, I don't know it.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm like collaborating.
Keep trying to get me collaborate or something. It'd be like 4 days later. I'm like,
waiting. Still waiting.
Are you there? Are you good?
You got to text me, girl.
All right.
But like when you've come away from all that stimuli, the noise, then you start moving in the way that's more natural for you.
Absolutely right.
And those things that you aren't quite so, you don't do.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think if people, again, if you're a person who is looking for yourself, kind of your inner peace, just turn everything around you off that you can.
That's a great tip.
And just sit.
It's a little scary though.
It is, but that's
so
the best and quickest way you're going to get to being hustle adjacent.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll figure out what you really want. Like, I know one of my things, as I was saying, like, when I see people getting stuff, or the more I saw, the more I wanted less. But, like, when we first started the design firm, you want this and this. And, and then you go and you're like, I was on 4 panels at High Point. I want to shoot myself. Right? Like, or like, and so you figure out all this stuff, but it gives you the space. So once you figure that out, it gives you the space to figure out what you love to do. So, like, for me, it was like, when we started the nonprofit and we got to, like, actually do a whole renovation of a shelter. I was like, oh, this is where it's at.
That's it. That's
like,
right.
This is where it's at. Actually, it's funny, I haven't mentioned this before, but my first job out of college was a fundraiser at a nonprofit, right, in New York.
Oh.
And so now I'm like, let's see how I can do some of that, how I can, which would allow us to do more projects and all these different things. But it's only because I'm now like, I'm not chasing that.
That's
I
right.
don't need to be in that directory here, or I don't need to be at this event here. But it takes time and comfort in making that decision. And you also keep talking. Exactly. You keep talking to yourself. It's like, maybe I'm just acting like I don't want it because I ain't going to get it, right? Or do I actually not want it?
That's
and
right.
so I still go back and forth sometimes.
That's okay because you want different things in different seasons.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That is so true. Well, speaking of different seasons, one of the things that we like about this podcast is our transparency and accountability. And we have a segment called the Whispering Report, where it's really just our check-in. It's like, okay, what do we, our tagline is soft life, loading, ambition still whispering, or something like that.
Right. Soft life pending.
Check the notes.
Ambition still whispering.
Say loading.
You got a whole thing.
Absolutely right. I should read soft life pending. Ambition still whispering. So the fact that there's always something in the background, that little bit of ambition that's like, you sure? Or what should we be improving? Or what should we be doing? That's what this Whispering Report is. And so we like to kind of have a theme for the Whispering Report each episode. This time we said, what is something that falls under the category of maintenance, not makeover? Meaning, what can we bring into our life, or have you brought into your life that's like a part of your routine that you don't have to overhaul all the time, or maybe it took you overhauling to get to that that new thing. Do you have an idea?
I do.
We should probably tell them in advance this idea.
Well, she seems prepared.
No, she's prepared, but I'm just saying, I feel like we should tell them in advance.
Okay.
We know in advance.
Well, this is like a new thing for us to guess,
Exactly.
so we'll figure it out. Thank you for trusting me.
Exactly. I love people who can just come off the dome, right?
We'll figure this out.
Okay,
so
what's
when
yours?
I think about my new maintenance thing that kind of runs in the background is me being more active.
Okay.
And move. The whole movement, being medicine and finding different ways to move. So I've always had some element of exercise, but at the level that I'm doing it now, I haven't done this since I was in my 20s.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so also recognizing that is sustainable now for me because I'm budgeting my time to accommodate it. Right. And it's something that it feeds me so I can have more clarity of mind, so I can have the energy to do all the things that I want to do, in a day.
I love that.
And to also be present for this family that I've always wanted to have.
That was the dream.
Yeah. So that's kind of my maintenance thing that's just kind of now running in the background.
I love that
become
too.
part of my everyday routine. So
and
when I wake up, I'm looking forward to spending that time doing whatever it is. Oh, the other thing too, this is still kind of like a footnote to that. And we're talking about the noise out there. And, there's not a shortage of advice about exercise, nutrition, and all that. But again, when I really sat with what works for me, I eat carbs.
Yes.
I ain't never given up carbs.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, that was the advice.
Yes.
I eat breakfast in the morning.
Yes.
Right?
I know. I was...
So you're not, none of that intermittent fasting stuff.
But I tried.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You figured out.
But then also me being 46, and before I weight train, I have to eat something.
That's right.
But only doing that, right? Having the courage to eat breakfast.
Having the courage to eat breakfast.
Having the courage to eat breakfast an hour before I go work out.
Yeah.
During my workout, I'm like, oh my God. I desire so much more energy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Better workout, better experience.
So sitting with yourself, or just like looking at what's actually working versus just listening to people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
So,
that's a great two, actually.
But that applies to
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That is my whispering.
I would say my thing is
whisper report.
Whispering report, yes. What's whispering to you? Or has whispered and worked? I think my thing is meal batching or meal plan. It's not planning. It's
prep?
Meal prep, but it's more ingredient prep too. I do a little meal prep for things that I don't like leftovers in general. So I know it's ridiculous. Unless it's like chili or something that does get better over time.
Right.
But what we do is we make a lot of things that can then be combined into stuff and or quickly made together. And I do that probably every other week because I find that, especially with, middle school, they actually got real homework.
Yeah.
So by the time she's ready to, she's finished, it's already 6, 7 o'clock. I'm probably working later than I want to, or that's probably my time to do something else. So it'd be like 7 o'clock. As you all know, I'm done mentally.
You were done at noon.
Right, exactly. And then, so now we're going to order from Uber Eats, or we're going to do something I don't want to do. So at least we still have those nights, but most of the nights we can just go in and be like, oh, we got this. Or, oh, like we do a lot of like Chipotle style bowls. So I'll make black beans from scratch. I'll cook some carnitas. We literally will do the whole thing and it'll sit in the fridge for the week. And you just come in and you make a bowl.
Right.
That's good.
And maybe we got to make like some new pico and guac in the middle of the week, but like, it's so easy. And so we do a lot of that. And it really has improved. Yeah, I like to eat out a lot, but some days you don't want to.
Right.
So it just gives us a lot of options.
And it's in your bowl.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so you can do all the bad stuff because it's your house.
Right.
It's fresh.
You know how
Even
much.
no matter how much oil you put in it, it's going to be less than Chipotle.
Truly.
Right? It's
truly.
so I think it's just a really nice thing that we started. We started it mainly because where we were living had very few options. And we just really kept it up. And it's not as frequent like it used to be every week, but it's still really nice.
Right. Because you have a lot more options now.
Yeah.
I like
Actually,
that.
the funniest is that one of our favorite things to make, talking about carbs, is there's this woman, we actually used to buy like a $6 a week thing where she would make the whole plan. And she had this one week where she taught us how to make no-knead focaccia. So you make a huge sheet pan of focaccia and you sometimes you cut it into things to make it into croutons. Other times you cut it in half and you make like a caprese sandwich. It was like some balsamic
flatbread.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah.
But you make a balsamic vinegar on it with a little arugula.
Oh, nice.
Zoe be in the kitchen in the morning making that to take to school. I'm like, you got burrata,
right?
Chicken,
Yes,
like an heirloom tomato.
Exactly.
I was like, this is why people think you're ridiculous. And I kind of love it.
I love it too.
But yeah, so
make me one too.
Yes.
And now she's at the stage where she can't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, but it creates this one. It makes us work. We do things together.
Yeah.
But we also have good, healthy food.
Yeah.
To do that. So I'm doing one of the new like fads right now with a lot of protein.
Okay.
I refuse to give up carbs, but like we do a lot of ground meat, and we could just mix it all day.
Though that's what we need for muscle preservation.
I gave up carbs for Lent one year.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be around people.
Mamma jamma.
I wasn't even hungry. I was just mean.
Just growling at everything.
I was like, this ain't who this ain't who I'm supposed
not
to be.
right. This is not right. That is so funny.
Somebody give a sandwich,
please.
So yeah,
this is a bread.
She killed us all.
Yes. So that's mine. What's yours?
I like it. Mine is actually something I'm aspiring to. I feel like I was trying to really be thoughtful about what is whispering to me. Like, what do you need? And I think that I've identified that although I travel a lot. Often it's not my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this is travel. It doesn't even have to be going somewhere. But I am going to this year implement once a quarter a personal retreat where it's 2 days of me not having to see or talk to anyone. I swear.
Yeah. And if I come, I won't say a word to you.
Now, actually, this one, we travel so well, and that actually has happened before. It's like,
that's totally
we are here. We don't even need to talk or do anything.
I'll ping you when I need something.
And I know you still love me. And I'm going to ask you if you want to go to dinner. If you don't, that's fine.
That's fine too. That's fine too. Yes.
That's mature.
That's when you have a sister friend.
Yes.
Like, she's my sister. But I think because for most of my life, I feel like I've always prioritized what everybody else needed. Mm-hmm. And I get the scraps of like the time to recharge myself, reset myself, that if it's not something I intentionally put on the calendar, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to be slow enough where I'm like, oh, there's a free weekend just hanging out waiting for me.
I mean, I feel like once a quarter is very ambitious and I'm here for it.
Yes, I'm happy to report.
Okay.
Again.
She's done it already. I'm not going to tell her business.
Oh, she's already. She just ain't telling nobody.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know that. Yeah.
I have tested and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So my goal is once a quarter. I have to schedule it. I have to put it on just like a doctor's appointment or the dentist makes you do like a year out.
No, you have to schedule it.
Exactly.
So it's like putting it on the calendar, and I don't have to go anywhere. It could just be that those are 2 days for myself that I can choose to just veg out in bed, or I can go to a little hotel and do a staycation, or I can take a mini trip. But that is what I want to do for myself, to just give myself, because people don't realize this about me, but I am an introvert. Yes. And so I don't get my energy from being around a lot of people. I actually need to be able to plug into myself to recharge. Yeah. So that's my whisper.
Well, I'm excited for you.
I'm excited.
I hope that it works out. I can't wait to hear about it.
I will report back. But I am even more excited that our friend Erika joined us today. Thank you. You are so, you really have given us so much to think about and to process. I think you were perfect for this topic. So thank you for being here today.
Oh, and I love it's like one of my favorite topics.
Yes. And thank you guys for listening and or watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And make sure that you are ready for the next episode of Hustle Jason
Podcast.
Thank you. That. You're coming through the clutch.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.